Hello everybody, welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans, the planner channel. Getting one step ahead and then kind of sliding a little bit backwards, but yeah, that. Hello. Welcome. It's still January. This is where we left last week. I think this kit's so freaking adorable. I just love it. I'm not usually like a blue person, but I'm leaning into the blue season with January here. So today we are planning the week of Monday, January 22nd through Sunday, January 28th. This is my Moxie Life goal planner, and it's Wednesday. I fully intended to plan yesterday, and then in the morning I started working on, I still have not finished all my goal setting stuff. I'll show you this. This is cute. This is my first year using, I think this is called the Moxie Life Flagship Planner. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it's called. So this has your like weekly plans, like I've been showing you every week. And then it also has your goal setting in it. So previously, what I've done, which I've talked about before, is that I would get the goal setting companion notebooks. I was using a Gooseby Twins planner, and I was getting the goal setting notebooks, having them bound at Kinko's, and then using those supplementally. This year I decided, since they went to a coil binding instead of a wire O binding, I was going to try to put it all in one thing. But the end of the year, the beginning of the year, I had a lot going on, and I didn't get to do the full goal planning like I have done in previous years. And that's okay. I am where I am right now, and I was working through HB90 at that time, and that was a little bit more important to get through that. And so I am starting to slowly work through the yearly goal planning. So I have been using, I didn't really set up my monthly planner that much. I just put in my work schedule. So the washi tape is a work day, so I know what days are work and what days are off. So I haven't really set up much in here yet, but I haven't done my monthly goals and I haven't done my annual goals. I've been using the weekly action charts in here. I have to do this week's. I haven't gotten that far because I started working on this. I finally got like inspired and motivated yesterday morning to start working on this, and then I was like, I'm just going to keep going with it. I was going to stop and then do my weekly plan, and then I was like, you know what? I'm feeling called to this. And sometimes with ADHD, one of the things that I have learned, and somebody was talking about this with me in the HB90 Facebook group, sometimes you have to just go where your energy is flowing and just be like, when you have multiple things that you have to do and you're like, I'm going to work on this for a little while and then I'm going to work on this, sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes it's better with ADHD if you have 4 tasks and you're planning to spend so long on one, so long on the second, so long on the third in a day, and you feel really called to work on that first task, and then you can put your other tasks off, as long as you can make that happen. Sometimes you have to do that, and that's the best thing so that you maximize your brain power, because if you switch tasks and you're feeling called to that other task, you're going to be distracted by the next task. So it's kind of about balance, and I'm trying to learn that as I'm going along. But anyway, what I did was this is like when I used to do Power Sheets, the page that was like the What Fires You Up page. And it's also like things I want to do this year, things that I like, that make me feel alive, that I want to keep doing. So it's a little bit of everything. So I like how this turned out. So I got that far, and then I was going to start doing the annual goals, and then I had to go to work. So I'm going to work on that probably tomorrow to finish that up. But that's why I didn't start my planner until this week. That was what that whole aside was about. So let's get into the week. So I haven't done this yet. I did my weekly reflection, but I didn't do my weekly actions yet for this. I've been doing weekly actions in my HB90 too. I'm using both of them together. And I'm ideally going to do a goals video where I'm talking about how I'm using the two of them in tandem, because that was something I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, and it's working for me. And it's like, it's working for me so well that I'm scared of how well it's working. Yeah, that's an issue. That's a subject for an entire vlog at some point, or an entire video, like what to do when doing well makes you nervous. Yeah. So anyway, we'll come back to that maybe not. I'm using a kit from Caffeine Queens. Hi, I love you guys. And it's super cute. It is the snowbirds, and all the birds are like, they look like a little bit happy but a little bit stressed. And I was like, these birds, they get me. So I think their kits are always amazing, but this one I thought was particularly very cute. So I think what I'm gonna do I'm gonna do this at the top. 'Cause these are kind of pink. So I think the blue goes better with that than the red. But I use this blue. Oh, who cares if I have... I'm leaning into my Simply Gilded Snowflake washi tape there. I'm using it 2 weeks in a row. But I am going to use this red one on the bottom here. So yeah, it's Wednesday. I worked the last 7 days, but of this week, I worked Monday and Tuesday. And so I'm making better use of my time, wasting less time. When I say wasting time, oh, that's crooked. God dang it. I mean, like, if you want to waste time, then wasting time is absolutely fine. But when I don't feel good after wasting time and I just feel like my whole day is done and I didn't do the things I wanted and I did things that didn't leave me feeling like fulfilled or happy, that's what I'm talking about. And so I'm getting better at being like, you know what? Woo. There we go. That's the best I got. It's pretty close. Getting better at recognizing when I'm starting to go down that path and I'm starting to doom scroll or whatever. How far does this go across? It goes like the whole way across. Okay. So I think I'm doing better on the whole, but I'm just putting everything down really crooked today. Let's just get it together. I feel supremely motivated today, but I also feel like my motivation is in 7 different places. Like I want to work on 7 things at once, and that is not very helpful. That is not how we accomplish our dreams. It's not how dreams come true, by doing 7 things at once. So what I started working on today, I watched Selena Trevino's video. If you don't follow her, definitely check her channel out. It's amazing. And she was doing her monthly, I guess it was like her monthly budget, but also like her annual setup for 2024. And she has the best little spreadsheets. And I am not very good at doing spreadsheets, as I'm learning on my journey of using Notion. But I love looking at spreadsheets. I love the idea of spreadsheets. Just the execution is not really my strong suit yet. So, but she does these amazing little like financial budgeting spreadsheets. And I was watching hers and I was getting all motivated. And I was like, you know what? We've been doing such a good job of cooking at home in the month of January. I was like, I want to compare and see where we are. So I like pulled out the last 3 months of our credit card statements, and I was like looking through to see how much money we were spending on eating out, and like we are doing better. It's not in my head. Oh, you know what? The one thing I forgot about the Caffeine Queens kits. Sometimes my pens, they feel so nice. They're not glossy, but they're like plum paper style glossy, if that makes sense. And sometimes my pens are like, don't like it. So we shall see. I think I'm just going to use a regular pen to write the dates on here. So Monday was the 22nd. 23rd. And this will give this a second to dry before I flip it over. So anyway, so I was working on that, and then I was like, you know what I really should do? Is like, we're trying to get better control of like our subscriptions. So one of the things that I saw when I was going through the credit card statements was that I had this monthly recurring charge for a subscription, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I realized I accidentally signed up for a podcast channel. I know what happened. It's Pushkin, and there's a podcast that I love called The Dream, and the new season came out. And if you subscribed to Pushkin FM or whatever they call it, then you could get the entire season at once instead of having to wait week to week. And I was marathon training, so I was like, yeah, I need this. And it was like, you get a free month, and then it's $6.99 a month after that if you want to continue it, but you can cancel after your free month. And I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to remember to cancel that. Narrator, she did not remember to cancel that. So that is the problem with ADHD. I mean, everybody in this crazy busy world also, but especially if you have ADHD, like remembering that kind of stuff is like, no, it's not going to happen. So I've been paying for that for months, so I think I was able to figure out how to cancel it. So that was one good thing that came out of it, at least. But we were trying to take better control of our subscriptions, and not even control, but just like know what we have, what monthly subscriptions we have. And then we were members of several wine clubs. So like, it's hard for me to keep track of which wine clubs we're members of. Like I kind of remember that, but like how many shipments a year we get, what months do they come, how many bottles come per shipment, like that kind of stuff. And so I was like, you know what I could do? I could put this in as a page in my Notion, and then I can keep track of it in there. So I started like working on that, and then I was like, Fox, you have other things to do today. Was this on did you put this in your task blocks? No, you did not. So I stopped. And I'll go back to it. But I keep thinking about it, going back to my topic about that if your energy is flowing to one project and then you start another project that you might be like annoyed. That's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm like, man, that would be so cool to work on and get that finished up, and then I'd feel like I know so much about myself. But that went really well until the very end. Oh, it was a little crooked and I could see it. So anyway, my mom's on her way. Oh boy. Well, she's gonna stop at the grocery store. I have a little bit of extra time. Okay. I need to like jump in the shower before she comes over, because I normally, on work nights, I normally shower at night. And last night I was just like moving so slowly that I didn't have time to shower at night before we went to go get dinner. So I need to do that before she comes over, because I have dance class tonight. Oh my goodness. So anyway, what I'm working on today is we are beginning the office Thunderdome cleanup. My office is shameful. I have taken before videos that I think I will only show when there are clear after videos because it's so bad. But you know what? It's what I have to work with. This office turning into the mess that it is right now was kind of one of the precipitating factors of me finally being like, I need to go see a doctor, and I think I have ADHD. So like in that regard, you know, it helped me along on that way. So you got to meet yourself where you are. That's one of the things I'm really trying to work on in 2024. Meeting myself where I am. And it's really, the struggle is really real right now. I'm having a hard time with that. I can't lie. I'm falling back into patterns of being like, if you weren't so lazy, if you were just better at things, if you just could do what everybody else can do. And that's not helpful. It doesn't motivate me. It doesn't make me feel better about myself. It just makes me feel worse about myself. So, ooh, you know what? So I've been using these Sharpie pens lately instead of what was the other brand that I was using? Bic. It was Bic, I think. And these are actually, they're a little bit juicier than the other ones. And these actually write in here better, write on these stickers better, because the other ones were a little bit finer point, and they didn't write quite as well in these. I like it. Okay. All right. What are we doing? I made a list because I have so much stuff going on this week, and I'm volunteering at Beer Fest on Friday. And every time I see something saying Beer Fest, volunteering at Beer Fest, it's like my brain is hearing it for the first time. I cannot get it through my brain that I'm doing that, and I don't know why. I do not know why. All right. So work. And, the other big news that I need to share is that I'm going to go wild in April. I'm so excited. So, let's set this up. I did that on Monday. Lettering chicken. It's good enough. It's fine. On Friday night, they announced that Martha Stewart is one of the keynotes, and V from Under the Desk News is another one of the keynotes. They announced Martha, and I was like, oh, I want to go so badly. And I had a credit because I was scheduled to, okay, so Go Wild, hold on briefly, if you somehow have made it to this channel and you don't know what Go Wild is, or Wild for Planners. So Wild for Planners is the company, and it was Planners Gone Wild was the name of the Facebook group. And I've been in it since 2016, I believe. And it's a planner community. It's been bigger over the years. It's gotten smaller as the years have gone on a little bit, but it is like the best planner community. There's drama. There have been struggles over the years, but like, it's still good and I still love it. And they do a conference every year called Go Wild. So I went to Go Wild Vegas in 2019. That's how I met the Caffeine Queens, actually. We rode the high roller. We went to go to the Toby Keith bar. We had quesadillas. And I left my credit card at the Toby Keith bar. It's a whole story. It was a great night, but we have remained friends to this day. And Go Wild Vegas was like an amazing experience. It was so fun. I was in like a weird bad spot in my life mentally, and it was just like the bright spot that I needed. I made friends there that I talk to every week now, still years later. Like, I can't say enough good things about that conference. And I had bought tickets to go in 2020, and it was supposed to be in Anaheim, and when they were calling it Planaheim. And I'm gonna try to talk and do this, but I don't have high hopes. So I was supposed to go in 2020, and then it was canceled. So they rescheduled it, and they ended up rescheduling, I think, for 2022, but it was on my work week. So it's like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then you need like the day on Sunday to travel home. So when it falls on my work week, I would need to take off at least 4 days for it, and I don't really have the vacation time to account for that. So I didn't go in 2022. In 2023, it was in DC, which I could have driven to, but again, it was on my work rotation, and I didn't have the hours because we were doing a big cross-country drive last summer. This year, 2024, it's in Texas, like outside of Dallas, and it's my off week, and I can go, but it's husband's birthday. Husband's birthday is the Saturday, and I was like, oh, I have this credit because they never resold my ticket, so I had the credit for a free ticket that I paid for in 2020, and I was like, such a bummer. And then on Friday night, we found out that Martha was the keynote speaker, and I love Martha Stewart, as you know from my Vegas vlogs. I was like, man, I'm so bummed. And husband was like, I'm looking for plane tickets right now. You have to go. You cannot miss this. And I was like, I don't know. So I was like, I'm going to scroll through the rest of the speakers, and if there's someone that's like, I need to see that person, that'll be the deciding factor. And if there's nobody else that I feel as passionate about as I feel about Martha Stewart, then I will just be like, okay, I can't go. And V from Under the Desk News was one of the other keynote speakers, and I was like, well, oh my God, I have to go. Like, so I'm going. So I like sent in my confirmation on like Saturday, and then for some reason there was an issue for them processing it at first, and then like they sent me a response to somebody named Jessica, and I was like, that's not me. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we were doing 3 things at once. So we got it all sorted out, but that's what I did on Monday. I got the sorted that out, and then on Tuesday I booked my hotel, which, oh my Lord, Go Wild Hotel. So, sorry, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time, and it's not going super well. Yesterday, the other big news is that, oh dear, that's kind of crooked, but it's kind of crooked anyway. So, Dave Matthews Band released tour dates. DMB tour date release. So we need to do, that's something I need to do this week, is sort out. I think we know where we're going. I think we're doing Creek End Weekend, and I think Michelle and I are going to hopefully do 2 extra shows, and then the boys are going to come out and meet us for the weekend. So I think we're going to do Blossom, and then Pine Knob, which is in Michigan, like outside of Detroit. So I'm actually going to put this over here. These little 3 thingies here. I have not yet been using these habit trackers on the side, and I have a habit tracker in my bullet journal. I don't really feel compelled to use this one. So we need to do warehouse request once I figure out what days for sure. I talked to my scheduler this morning. She's like, yep, you have my blessing. I'll switch your days. Go ahead and go to Blossom. So that's exciting. Okay. So we went to the Cage for dinner the last 2 nights. I'll put that in there. And I did dance and stretch. I did my fitness goals for the last 2 days, which is exciting. How am I going to put that in here? I have a limited number of little boxes for this, so I'll go back to that. Okay. And then, okay, this morning I had my conference call at 8 a.m. And then I'm filming my plan with me. I feel like I've been very rambly on this plan with me today. There's a lot of information to cover. I'm going to go wild. I'm super excited. The hotel room was a whole thing though. Oh my goodness. It was, and then we were working on starting financial stuff. The conference is not sold out. I almost spelled financial wrong. The conference is not sold out, but the hotel rooms were really sold out. And so I called to try to book, and they were like, no, the only night, Thursday and Friday are sold out. You can get Saturday at the room rate, and the room rate was like $299 because all they have left are the king rooms, that's fine. It's just me, so I don't mind that. So I would have to pay the regular rate on Friday and Saturday, or Thursday and Friday. And I was like, well, okay, that's fine. And they're like, the regular rate is $572 a night. And I was like, the what? You said some words, and I think you didn't mean those words, because those words were what? So there were so many people looking for hotel blocks. They actually did 2 overflow hotels in the area. So I ended up taking the one. It's about a 3/4 mile walk, but there's a lot of people that are going to be staying there. So I was like, if nothing else, 3/4 mile walk is not that bad. And if not, that'll be like a 15-ish minute walk, I think. If nothing else, then we can, there'll be multiple of us that we can all walk together. Like if, we're walking back at the end of the night after the events or something, and it doesn't feel safe, like we'll all be together, right? So anyway, okay, Wednesday I have a lot of things on my list here. Tomorrow I have to do, prepare my mailing stuff. Putting this on here. I have everybody's Christmas cards to mail out. I know it's January 24th, but you know what? Nobody gets anything nice in January, so you're going to get a Christmas card with my dog on it if you're on my Christmas card list. And I'm not doing the full list. I'm just doing everybody who sent us cards this year because that's all I have the space for, emotionally and energy-wise, and that's fine. And then I also have my best friend from college. When we went to see Death Cab for Cutie in Postal Service, I got her a t-shirt. I haven't mailed that to her yet. And I will have mailed it, in case she watches this, I will have mailed it before this video goes up, I think. No, I won't. But, okay. Shh. Secret. Pretend you didn't hear that if you're watching this. And then I got a friend of mine lost her brother, and I got her a sympathy card. I have to send that. So I have a whole bunch of stuff that has to go in the mail. So I have to do that tomorrow. And then tomorrow also, we're going to get our passport pictures taken. My friend is working. That's like in the afternoon here. Put it here. Sometimes it's hard for me when I'm planning out my day to put things in chronological order for how they'll go in the day. Because like, I know we're going at like 5 o'clock, but I don't know what else is going in here and what else is going after here. So like, sometimes that's hard for me. Okay, so we'll say passport photos. We're just going when husband's done with meetings. So I'll say 5 p.m., but it's probably going to be later than that. But so we have to get our passport photos because we have to renew our passports, and that's what we're doing on Friday. So I'll put a sticker in for that. I'm just kind of putting in a little bit of stuff and not everything. And that's not the first thing that I'm going to be doing in the day, but I don't know where, like I said, I'm not always clear on where to put the sticker in the day. So we'll just say passports. We have to go to the post office because guess what we did? We went more than 15 years without renewing. If it's been within 15 years since you got your passport, you can renew it on the mail. And ours has been 15 years and like 8 months. I had meant to do it last year. It had been like on my list, and last year was like a rebuilding. You know how the Pittsburgh Pirates are always like, this is a rebuilding year? That's how I feel too. This is a rebuilding year. Okay, so that's at 12 p.m. We have our appointment, and then Beer Fest has to have its own sticker. Ooh, so let's do Beer Fest will be this. And we might go dancing on Friday night. I would like to if I have the energy for it, but I make no promises because sometimes, oh my goodness, why is this so complicated? There we go. I'd like to go dancing, but you never know. So Beer Fest. It is the biggest fundraiser. So we start at 5 p.m. for Biggie's Bullies, which is a local pit bull rescue and advocacy group. I guess those are the words we would use. Not my greatest letter E, but that's fine. So anyway, so I always volunteer. I'm not a beer drinker, but the last time that we went, so when you volunteer, after your volunteer shift is done, I always do the door. I am the wristband bitch. So after you do your volunteer time, then you get to go into the beer fest for free. And last time when we did the summer one, not last year, but the year before, my girlfriends and I walked around, and there were a number of like ciders and meads and things like that I could try. So I was like, okay, this isn't so bad. And I did try a couple of beers just to see what they were like. Not for me, but anyway, it's a great charity event for Biggie's Bullies. So I try to volunteer every year when I can. But for some reason, I cannot wrap my brain around the fact that it's happening. And every time, my friend Christy is going to be volunteering with me. We always volunteer and together. And every time she's like, don't forget Beer Fest on Friday. I'm like, that's right. It's like a mental block. I don't know why. And then Sunday is our dance performance finally that we've been training for the last 2 months. Yay. And that's going to be like it's like not 7 hours. Oh God. How did I have a small word and still almost lose lettering? Chicken dance. It is 8 a.m. to noon. And then we're filming at a brewery that might have food. So I think we're going to get lunch afterwards. So I think it's 8:30 report time. I can't remember if it's 8 or 8:30, but I got ADHD, so I got to tell myself it's half an hour earlier than it actually is. All right. And so the reason I'm doing all that mailing, by the way, on Thursday is like preparing all that mailing is because we're going to the post office on Friday for the to do our passports, so I can then drop that stuff off. Then it's very convenient, and I can check Layla's PO box if anybody has sent her any mail. Okay, so this is not everything, and it's not even everything that I have on my list that I know that I'm doing, but it's a start for the week right now, and it's the most that I can write and talk through. Right now, I can only multitask writing and talking so many items, so that's where we're gonna end this for the day. So like I said, my mom is on her way. We're gonna start working through the mess that is the office. Primarily, we're gonna try to get this washi tape sorted so it's not all over the floor and all over the bookshelves where it doesn't belong. But yeah, so this kid looks so cute. I'm just so proud of myself for doing my planner the 4th week in a row. I know it sounds silly, like you're a planner person. Why is it hard to do your planner? Doesn't it help you feel more organized? And it does. But sometimes the task of sitting down and doing it is like mentally overwhelming, and I have a hard time with it. But I feel I'm still having down days. I'm still having bad days and rough days and self-hate days. But I feel like I'm getting through it better than I have in a long time. I feel like my toolbox is like really filling up right now with ways to cope and manage, and that's very exciting. I feel good, and I feel so good that I'm worried that something bad is going to happen, because I can't possibly have this many good things and this many good feelings, right? And so I wrote, like last year I wrote this, and I still have it sitting on my desk, and it's Wild for Planners. This is from Go Wild in 2019. I wrote, "You deserve good things," on this little sticky note here, and I'm keeping it in view on my desk because I have a really hard time accepting that. I feel like as soon as things start to go well, then something bad has to happen. I'm not the type of person who is like, I'm going to manifest a great thing, because I feel like that's just like setting myself up for failure, and I don't have that kind of luck. And I'm trying to get through this and work through this and be comfortable with like things are going well because I'm putting in work to make them go well, and that's okay, and I am worthy of it. Y'all, this is why my entire life is covered in Richard Simmons quotes like all over, because he reminded me that I'm worth it. So anyway, that's my start of my plan for the week. I'm excited to keep going every day, because I think I just love looking back and being like, oh my goodness, look how cute my little list was. Like, look at all the things that I did. Like, look at the week that I had, you know? I just love it. So thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are new here. And as always, my friends, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will see you in my next video.